basically sell the difference is basically the answer there. And of course, you can take these, again, and I'm not talking about just real estate there. So now all of a sudden you've got, you're a personal trainer, you're, selling a business, and somebody's willing to spend $500,000 on a business and yours is 700, the same deal. You just sell them the whole lot in the 200,000 that they're not quite committed to selling. Does that make sense? So once again, all of these skills and all these secrets are interchangeable from industry to industry and from category of business to category of business. Once again, very powerful. Another thing you want to think about doing is using voice inflections. Okay, so what would I say? So let me a phrase. I didn't steal the bike. Okay, so if I say to you, I didn't steal the bike, what I'm basically saying is, look, it was stolen, and I accept that, but I didn't do it. Right?
Okay.
I didn't steal the bike. I borrowed it, but I didn't steal. Right? I didn't steal the bike. Okay, well, I stole something, but it wasn't your bike. Right? Does that make sense? So basically, when that sentence, if you put the pronunciation on each individual word, you completely change the meaning of the sentence. So when you're selling something, essentially what you want to make sure is that you're putting voice inflections on the words that you know are what's going to basically get them over the line. Okay, we know e-learning system works very well for our online program. Well, e-learning system gets some pronunciation in the middle of a sentence. Okay, so voice inflections, once again, very, very powerful, something that you want to learn to do when you're selling. Another thing, again, and this is important, and this is one that it's going to be difficult to sort of get across in a few minutes, but analogies, stories, and metaphors. Okay, essentially what you want to do is when you're selling, you want to make sure people, they can relate to stories. Like there's things you know, there's things you don't know, and things you don't know. Don't try to connect something I don't know with something I don't know. Okay, I'll give you an example. I taught hockey in Australia, right? So I'm in Australia. I'm going to rip it around doing some ice hockey drills, right? Okay. Well, I've got little kids there that they don't know who Wayne Gretzky is, and they've never played ice hockey in their life. They just come down with a school class. Okay, so for me to sit there and say, well, picture Wayne Gretzky on television, and stick handling is what he's doing, all of a sudden I've got someone they don't know linking it with something they don't know. Okay, but for instance, if you live in Australia, people play footy, which is like Australian rules football, or they play cricket. Okay, well, if I take, for instance, I want to teach them how to shoot, right? If I say, well, look, the same way you swing a cricket bat is similar to the way you take a slap shot, but you just need to, separate your arms and do a few hits and bits. Suddenly, this guy played cricket. It's taking something he knows and relating it to something he doesn't know, and now he can make a connection.
Oh, I see.
So that's why stories, analogies, and examples work very, very well in your sales process. So make sure, so basically when you're going through, it's like if you're creating a TV show, what you really do is you create the features and the segments, okay, let's call them little stories, and then you design the rest of the show around those features, okay? Or you have a newspaper, same thing. You basically create the newspaper around the features. You want to create your sales spiel around a story that that they can sort of chew on, if that makes sense. Is that making sense?
Yes, it is.
Again, so stories, analogies, examples, super, super powerful, and go through and make sure you have some of those for your sales process. Another great way of selling something is basically asking a question, then saying, well, the good news is. So do you have balloons? Well, the good news is I do. Do you have the invitations? No. Well, the good news is I can look after that for you. Okay. A great way of selling somebody is basically asking them questions, directed questions, so you know that you're going to lead them towards a result that you want, right? You can categorically basically predict what 75% of the population are going to think, right? Because they end up on your phone and you're selling birthday parties. These guys don't have organized what you could otherwise put together, okay? So again, super important. So basically, at the end of those questions, you say, and the good news is, and you draw them towards your end result and the goal that you want to bring across.
Okay, I see.
So anyway, so that's basically, Craig, those are my secrets.
Okay. Karl, before you go, can I get you to tell me a little bit about your 4-step sales process?
Yeah. Okay. That's the 4-step sales process basically looks like this. Most people go from meeting someone, or what we would call building rapport in the sales process, and they go from step 1 and then they go to step 4, which is to try sell them something. Okay. And they miss completely the 2 most important steps.